Who is Natalie Poklonskaya and where did she go? Why did she disappear? The main and the most interesting details. Natalia Vladimirovna Poklonskaya was born on the 18th of March 1918. This is Ukrainian and then Russian statesperson, politician, lawyer, and Minister of Foreign Relations. She became famous in 2014 when she took the position of prosecutor of Republic of Crimea, which became part of Russia as an outcome of referendum. Now she is advisor to the General Prosecutor of the Russian Federation. Poklonskaya, which can be translated as a Bowdown, deserved a two-sided reputation due to her dubious statements, which were immediately printed everywhere in mass media. She was an object of memes and social discussions, but in one moment she disappeared from the radar, where she kept her silence in a new and very responsible position. We are offering you to remember the events connected to ex-prosecutor biography. Natalie Poklonskaya was born in USSR in a village Mikhailovka of Voroshilovgradskaya Oblast, now Luhansk. Her mother was a housewife and her father was a miner, 39er, and her daughter, Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine. And then Poklonskaya family moved to Crimea and settled in Yevpatoria city. There she finished her high school and got a law degree in Kharkiv. After finishing her university, she worked as an assistant prosecutor of Republic of Crimea and then Yevpatoria. And in 2010, she became the prosecutor, and she was also overseeing the law enforcement structures of Crimea. In 2014, in Ukraine, Viktor Yanukovych, president, was ousted from power, and in Rada, their parliament, they decided to appoint a new one. After changes of the powers there in Ukraine, she filed her papers to quit. Blah blah blah. She was environmental position in Prosecutor General's office. So blah 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 blah. So when there was a coup in Ukraine, she said that her grandmother called her repeatedly and cried that the times are returning when the occupation happened. She was 80. My grandmother is 86. She remembers the Germans and she remembers the Ukrainian policemen, how they tortured people. I will not look my grandmother in the eyes if I put on the uniform and serve to this Galichina Nazi unit. When you think about it, I have no fear. political career of Poklonskaya. She was a prosecutor for 2 years, and on the order of the President of Russia in 2016, she was released from this position. This was related to her political ambitions when she became a member of a state parliament, Russian Duma. Then in 2016-2019, she became deputy chairman of a committee of the State Parliament of Russia on the security and counter-corruption, and the chairman of a commission on the validity of data on the income and real estates of Russian persons. Then another primary she took off her. She quit the elections. And then she was sent to Africa. In October 2021, President Vladimir Putin signed an order to appoint her as an ambassador in Cabo Verde, a country in Africa. In 2022, she became advisor to the General Prosecutor of Russia, Igor Krasnov. She no longer acts in the social networks. There is an opinion that she has this manner to talk through her teeth due to her being beaten up in 2018 in the city Yevpatoria by Ukrainian mafia. That's why half of her face is not functioning. It is suggested that Poklonskaya was the state prosecutor, Attorney General in Crimea, and she pissed off some criminal authority. In 2013, Poklonskaya said that she was not beaten up but poisoned by water in her hotel. Natalia Poklonskaya is a famous admirer of a family of the last Russian emperor, who was who became considered a saint by the Russian Orthodox Church for his martyrdom. In 2013, Natalia Poklonskaya went through the Simferopol column of marching on the deathless unit, where everybody was with their grandfathers. She went with their Tsar Nikolai II. And then she was acting against the movie by Alexei Uchitelь, which portrayed the Emperor Nicholas II and the ballet dancer Matilda Kshinskaya to be lovers. So anyways, you. Anyways, Russian media and all the internet was spreading rumors that she is a secret granddaughter of the last emperor Nicholas II Romanov, who is considered to be the saint here. And the prophecy says that somebody from their dynasty will come back to rule. So, she lets her into White House to go driving round. She lets you into the parts of yourself which will sniff your hair. There'll be tenderness in the air. She'll let you come just far enough so you know that you really came. But there's a secret daughter he hides. Doesn't talk through her teeth, and she doesn't feel contempt towards people. But if she becomes a Russian empress, it's good to know that it's all not in vain. All the suffering of the Romanovs family, all the conspiracy by the British colonialists were not in vain. Now we have the Princess of Crimea, whom the Crimea was given to. Oh yeah, all right. Yeah. And so many people, so many folks, Turks, etc., British to fought for Crimea, this peninsula, in vain. And now into the value came the 300 or 3,000. Now we know that the rightful heiress has arrived, fighting the corruption, and was nearly killed by the Ukrainian mafia for that. Imagine that. Imagine that. Finally, like the prophecy of the Russian saint says, there will be somebody found from that dynasty, and Russia will become an empire again and reach its golden years. Yes, everybody will be rich, and also Russia will accept many refugees. Okay? So everybody will prosper. 10% to the big guy.